Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. We're slowly opening up, but let's still maintain social distancing and stay safe. So, I hope that all of you are doing well. So today we're going to talk about puppies and kittens. Okay, which monster doesn't like puppies and kittens? Okay, so but you also need to know that having puppies and kittens is not as easy as it sounds. Okay, puppies and kittens are a huge responsibility. It's equal to honestly bringing a child into the world. Okay, they are a lifetime commitment. Okay, at least 15 to 20 years of commitment. So you should know these things before you decide to adopt a puppy or a kitten. So a 15 to 20-year commitment, it is not only physically, they need you to be there. Dogs need to go out for walks, they need exercise. Also, cats also need physical stimulation, they need mental stimulation. So these things you should know before you decide, not after you've decided to adopt a pet and you're overwhelmed all of a sudden. So um so the so and it it is also quite a large monetary investment as well. Okay, it is not cheap having a pet, so to say. All right, they need to be vaccinated, they need to be dewormed, you need to feed them good quality food. So these are some of the things that you should know before you decide to adopt a pet. Okay, let's come down to what kind of puppy or kitten you want to adopt. All right, so this is me personally. If I had a choice, I mean, I do have a choice actually, I would adopt puppies or kittens or even full grown dogs and cats that need homes in shelters. There are a lot of pets that are abandoned. There are a lot of stray animals that we have that need homes. So my first choice would be those, rather than actually going to a breeder or a pet shop and buying a puppy just because it belongs to a certain breed. It's, you think it's cuter, it has an aesthetic value, or a social, or it makes you look cool. All right. Yeah, so when you are hell-bent on, say, suppose buying a certain breed, you need to know where that puppy is coming from. It is so important to know where that, even in cats, there are kitten mills, so to say, and there are puppy mills which have been, even in the media and everywhere, it is, it's a well-known fact that there are puppy mills all over the country, all over the world, where unethical breeding of dogs is carried out. These dogs are kept in tiny cages, and all they are used is for breeding. They just are used to produce puppies, and those puppies are sold for x amount of money. Okay, it's purely business. It doesn't matter. Even the breed characteristics are lost. There's a lot of inbreeding which causes a lot of genetic issues and also a lot of physical issues. For example, if we look at pugs are a result of a lot of inbreeding that has taken place through the generations. Okay, from small dogs they've been like pushed into tiny dogs, and now they have a flat face and they can't breathe very well. They have skin issues, they have heart problems. So these are some of the issues that happens when we don't responsibly breed animals. So if you want to buy a particular breed, make sure that you know where the puppy is coming from. Make sure that it is an ethical breeder. Okay, someone who is recognized by the Indian Kennel Club or the Kennel Club of India. Okay, because I would suggest you need to take that extra effort to even go and see where these puppies are born, in what kind of farm, in what kind of conditions they're kept in, and only then should you, if you're happy with that, should you buy that puppy. And Yeah, so these are certain things you need to know when you decide to adopt or buy a puppy per se, because also very recently we've had a lot of cases of exotic puppy breeds coming in from puppy mills. They were obvious puppy mill puppies, because and they were stashed in tiny cages. They all had got parvovirus, which is a near fatal, it is most of the times fatal in these puppies. Okay, and if they are not vaccinated on time and they are kept in those dirty conditions, the virus spreads among all those puppies. Unfortunately, most of those puppies died. A lot of the puppies they sold as well, those puppies died as well. So please look at where your puppy is coming from. Don't just buy it because it's cute or it belongs to a certain breed. Okay, so let's come to vaccinations. Why are vaccinations so important? So vaccinations are important, of course, because they build the immunity of the puppies and cats and kittens, I mean. So in puppies we start the vaccination as early as 4 weeks. Okay, I'm sorry, 6 weeks. So yeah, we start the vaccination as early as 6 weeks. So their first vaccine would be the distemper vaccine and the parvovirus vaccine. So parvovirus is the virus that causes the bloody gastroenteritis in puppies. Distemper is the virus that affects their brain. It causes seizures, etc. So, and it is also another fatal virus. So that is the first vaccine that we give puppies. And do not believe people who tell you the puppy is coming vaccinated until they give you an actual vaccination certificate from a vet. Okay, the reason we also have to give boosters is because these puppies have maternal immunity. So when they drink their mother's milk, there are certain antibodies that they pick up from that milk as well. And even our vaccines, the maternal antibodies sometimes interfere with the vaccines, which is why we also need to give boosters to top up that immunity in case, so that they have a high level of immunity. Okay, so the maternal antibodies, maternal antibodies, they wear off after 2 months of age. And a lot of times puppies are weaned too early from the mother. So my suggestion would be to only buy puppies that have been with the mother at least for 2 months, for a full 8 weeks. Okay, don't buy puppies that are just 45 days old, etc. That is a very early age to be separated or to be weaned off from the mother, because they also learn a lot of things from their mothers while they are with the mother. They also pick up certain behavior traits that help them, which humans can't teach them. Okay, they need the mother to teach them certain things. And also, yes, you will have a healthier dog if it has stayed with the mother for a longer time. All right, so then afterwards, at the age of we have a vaccination schedule. Okay, so the first vaccine we give at 6 weeks. The next vaccine would be at 8 weeks of age, which would be the 9-in-1, or so to say, that contains again distemper, parvo. It also has leptospira. It builds immunity against leptospirosis, as well as infectious canine hepatitis, as parainfluenza and coronavirus. Now, coronavirus is an optional vaccine to give. Okay, you can give it, and of course it is not the same strain as the one that is causing the current pandemic, so don't panic. At the age of 3 months is when the first rabies shot is given, along with a booster of the 9-in-1. And 1 month after that, there is again a rabies booster and another shot of 9-in-1. So by the age of 4 months, all the vaccines ideally should be completed. Okay, and do not take the puppies down for a walk until all their vaccinations are completed, because their immunity hasn't reached that level yet, and they could catch an infection from outside or from an unvaccinated dog that they might meet outside. Now, rabies also is compulsory according to the BMC, since we are an endemic country for rabies. So rabies is a very important shot, and we by law we have to repeat it once a year. And you have to get your dog registered with the BMC, which requires you to have a rabies certificate. So they have, it's all there on the BMC website on how to register your dog, etc. And now the entire process is online. You just have to upload the documents and they will email you the certificate. So it's become quite easy. All right. Now in cats, in kittens, we start the vaccination when they're 2 months old. So we first start with the CRP vaccine, that's calcivirus, the rhinotracheitis, and panleukopenia. So these are three diseases that we vaccinate them against. All of them can be fatal diseases, so it's they have to be vaccinated in order to save them from those diseases. All right. When they're 3 months old, again kittens will need to be given a rabies vaccine. All mammals can get rabies, including humans. All right. If your cat or dog bites you, okay, and they're not vaccinated, it's not necessary that you will get rabies. It only happens if your dog or cat has the infection. Okay, you can't get it randomly if they have bitten you at home or etc. If they haven't been exposed to the virus. Okay, so don't worry about that, because we get a lot of panic people, because puppies, obviously, when they're playing around, they're gonna bite you, they're gonna scratch you. So don't panic, okay, unless they have the virus, which is, in which case they would show symptoms. Okay, so the symptoms would be there's excessive drooling, they can't control their aggression, etc. You will see a marked behavior change. And usually once a dog or a cat has rabies, they don't survive for more than 10 days. Okay, so yeah. And I would suggest for people who do a lot of stray work, or even vets and vet students, to please regularly get their rabies shots as a prevention. It's just safety. Prevention is better than cure. Okay, so for cats, at 3 months we'll give them the rabies vaccine. Then after a month again, we will give them a booster of the CRP. Now most vaccines are repeated after a year. Okay, so for cats at my clinic, what I do is I repeat the CRP and the rabies after a year. And if they are purely indoor cats, so after the first year booster, we vaccinate them every 3 years if they are indoor cats. But if they are indoor outdoor cats, it's best to have them vaccinated at least against rabies once a year, so that they are safe, because they are at a higher risk when they go out. For dogs, we need to repeat the vaccines once a year. Okay, then deworming. So deworming we do about once a month till the puppy or kitten is 6 months of age. And then deworming is regularly supposed to be done at home or at the clinic every 3 months. Now we do the deworming mostly every 3 months, because yes, dogs go down, they lick stuff. It's just better, it's a good preventive to do every 3 months. Now for training, once you want to start training, what's the earliest age you can start training puppies? The earliest age you can start with basic command training is 2 months of age. Okay, yes, that's tiny, but that's the earliest you can start, and it's a good time to start as well, so that the puppy starts learning. They are, of course, like children, their mind will absorb stuff very fast when they're young, so it's good if they're trained as young as possible, so that they don't develop certain fears, and work with a qualified animal behaviorist who can help you with proper training, and never ever hit or use brute force against them, because that is not a way to train or discipline any animal. All right. And I'd also take this chance to kind of appeal to people to please adopt and rescue animals that need homes, and there are plenty in shelters that need homes. So please, adopt pets that need homes rather than buy new puppies, uh, which mostly come from puppy mills. They're kept in dire conditions. A lot of them don't survive, and the mothers are treated with extreme brutality. And a lot of times, once they are older, a lot of the mothers are just abandoned, tossed on the street. So this is something that we need to stop, and if we stop buying, the breeding will stop as well. Okay, if anyone has any questions, I'm open to them right now. And if you've missed the live session, you can always catch it on IGTV. Um, and if you have any questions, you can always also DM me, or you can comment on the post. But if you have any questions right now, I'd be glad to answer any of them right now. Okay. All right. So I'm glad. I hope you learned a little bit more about puppies and kittens. It's not a cakewalk. Also, it is important for you to know again where your puppy or your purebred puppies or cats are coming from. Please make sure it is an ethical person, an ethical breeder, and not somebody who's doing it just as a business. All right. I think we've spoken enough about puppies and kittens. I'm sure, of course, there's a lot about the cutesy stuff we can talk about later. But thank you so much for joining in, and I'll see you soon. Right? Stay safe, everybody. Bye bye.